Hi, I'm Marie Maynard, co-chair of the Arts at Shandon Committee, and on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's concert. We've certainly missed having events here in the sanctuary and look forward to having them here again. As always, we do continue to operate entirely on donations, and you can donate online by going to shandonpresbyterian.org, or you can also text to give at the number on your screen. You can also bring or mail a check to Shandon Presbyterian Church. Please designate Arts at Shandon with your donation. In April, we are aiming to have a family art activity, and in May, we are planning to do a theatrical endeavor, both of which should be outside, hopefully, and socially distanced. We thank you again for tuning in tonight, and we hope you enjoy the concert.
Good evening and welcome to Shandon Presbyterian Church. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt McCall, and I serve this community of Christ followers as organist and director of music. It has been an immense privilege to be able to play this beautiful Liturgical organ since November of 2019. I am very excited for you to hear our guest organist this evening on this instrument for two reasons. He is an exceptionally talented musician, and he is the reason I answered the call to church music. Dr. Ron Davis is Professor Emeritus at Presbyterian College, where he retired in the spring of 2020. Dr. Davis holds degrees from Ouachita Baptist University and the University of Kansas, and studied for a term at Southwestern Theological Seminary. Prior to his appointment at Presbyterian College in 2004, Dr. Davis was on the music faculty at Oklahoma Baptist University. At Presbyterian College, he served as the Director of Studies in Music Theory and Sacred Music, and his responsibilities included teaching organ, voice, composition, and occasionally harpsichord. He conducted Cantare, Presbyterian College's choir for men, the Presbyterian College Ringers, and during his last year, the Presbyterian College Choir. Under his direction, the PC Ringers became the premier collegiate handbell ensemble in the region. Dr. Davis has been heard in organ performances throughout the U.S. and Great Britain, including solo performances at Westminster Cathedral and Westminster Abbey, both in London. Dr. Davis was my first organ teacher. It was my time studying with him that helped me discern a career in church music. His love and passion for music is infectious, and without question, helped shape me into the musician I am today. Beyond his talent and skill as a performer, Dr. Davis has a heart for service and for ministry, and never hesitates to express care and concern for me, my classmates, and anyone who crosses his path. It is a tremendous honor to introduce him to you, and I hope that this evening's performance is a blessing not only to your ears, but to your heart. Enjoy.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us today. I want to first express my appreciation to Shandon Pres, to Matt McCall, and to the staff here for inviting me to be a part of the Arts at Shandon series. I'm going to play 4 pieces at the organ for you today that are mostly Lenten in spirit, as it is, we are in the middle of the Lent season. So I'd first like to play for us the Psalm Prelude number 1 by Herbert Howells. Herbert Howells was a giant of British music in the 20th century. He studied with Stanford and Perry, and he succeeded Gustav Holst at one of the schools that Holst was teaching at, and he ended up being the Master of Music at St. John's College, Cambridge University. His organ works cover a wide range of styles and forms, from sonatas and rhapsodies to little miniatures. Today's work is a setting of Psalm 34, verse 6. And from the New English Bible, it says, "Here was a poor wretch who cried to the Lord. He heard him and saved him from all his troubles. The psalm was most likely written by David as he and his men were being pursued by not only the forces of Israel's current king Saul, but by Achish, the king of Gath, from whom David had just escaped. The turbulence of the central portion of the piece is an apt musical description of what David and his men must have felt at the time. And the calm resolution of the work reflects the words of the verse, as God saved him from all his troubles. Hope you enjoy Psalm Prelude number 1 by Herbert Howells. Now we'll hear the Elegy by George Thalban Ball. Thalban Ball was a native Australian showing prodigious musical talent. By 1912, his family had immigrated to London, and by the age of 16, he was a fellow at the Royal College of Organists and the Royal College of Church Music. He studied with many of the greats of British cathedral music, including Stanford and Perry and Davies, among others. And while the number of his compositions is few, his elegy comes near the center of his career as organist at Temple Church in London. First published in 1944, and perhaps his most well-known work, his beautiful floating melody grows in a great crescendo to a mighty climax and then returns to its original, simple, and peaceful mood. Hope you enjoy the Elegy by George Thalban Ball. Now comes the Takata in F major by J.S. Bach. While we don't know exactly when this piece was written, scholars think it came into existence between 1714 and 1720, the end of Bach's Weimar years or the beginning of his Kärthen years. It is by far the largest and longest, 438 measures, of any of his works in the prelude format. It also includes the longest pedal points and the longest pedal solo cadenzas in all of Bach's organ works. The harmonies, very adventurous for the period, are well beyond anything other composers were writing at the time, and surely received some raised eyebrows from his congregation. And a very active pedal part must have been the young Bach's poke in the eye at other organists, and in essence, a way of showing off his remarkable pedal technique. At my first performance of this a couple of years ago, a former student of mine knew this piece and its active pedal part. He said, "I hope you don't break a hip. Hope you enjoy Bach's Takata in F major." And now we turn to the Liturgical Improvisation number 1 by George Oldroid. Oldroid was a British church organist serving at the English church in Paris, France, before returning to England to serve as professor at the University of London. This piece is the first of 3 works, or written down improvisations, that are suitable for worship. He has included as a subtitle or a commentary on the piece the following: "My soul hath a desire and longing to enter the courts of the Lord." It is a simple and simply beautiful work with a memorable melody. I hope you enjoy the Liturgical Improvisation by George Oldroid.